You are easy to love. I may not even know you very well, but I'm just like, my heart just like wants to just give you a big hug, right? You're easy to love. Just let that sink in. Just like that, just let that pour over you like a warm shower, like how easy it is because you're so amazing. You are loved. Taking a few minutes to relax down and color together. Let's inhale and exhale. Let's a couple more times. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. Isn't it great that there's just air for us automatically every single time we go to breathe? We don't have to worry about it at all. That is the kind of abundance that we are meant for. Why? Because you are beautiful, and that refers to your inner self as well as your outer self. Because I find that most women are much more beautiful than they think they are, even on the outside, and I'm including you in that. All right, well, this evening, what are we doing? We're loving on ya, loving on ya. You are so easy to love, so we might as well color about it, right? You are loved. You are loving, and it is safe to love and be loved. You're so easy to love, so easy to love. So let's color about it while we chat, shall we? I decided to do a little mixed media. I've got a couple gel pens, I've got a Sharpie, I've got just some regular, I forget what colored pens, I guess, and a highlighter. I just thought reds, pinks, purples, that is fun for this design. And this actually was designed by me. And I drew a bunch of little hearts, and I had a little help cleaning it up, like with the graphic perfect people, so it's easy for you to color. But I'm going to go ahead and just start coloring a little bit here and there, coloring in the hearts, thinking about, well, first of all, thinking of you, because you're much easier to love than you probably think you are. Why? Because it's just human nature that we all focus on our flaws. You know, I mean, it's part of the subconscious survival thing, trying to fit into the group so that, you know, when there's a buffalo next time, then you get to eat too. It's just that super basic stuff left over from a long time ago. And hopefully we never need to use any of that for survival now. But it's always just nice to affirm all these great things about us. And there's something about coloring in a heart that's really fun too. You know, there's a little bit of a flow. I'm kind of doing a circle like this, and then you angle it and you kind of do another circle. That might be a technique that makes it easy for you to color if you're having a hard time with these tiny little hearts that kind of look like blossoms to me. Another way that you could potentially use this page is you could also use it as a mind map. If you are loving, you could think of people that you love and draw a line, assign a name for people that you love. You could think about situations that you love and draw a line to each heart, and they could each represent situations. You could think of places you've been that you're fond of, and you could use this as another kind of a mind map, like we've talked about a couple of times, right? You know, there starts to be a very faded line between love and gratitude. They start to kind of just mush together in a really beautiful way. And it's all just the good, yummy, vibey stuff. Ooh, that was some of my sparkly gel pen. Do you want to see the sparkle? I love this part. Look at that shimmer. That's so fun for me. Okay, just a little promo, just because I love these and I think they'll make you happy too. These are the 5 gel pens that I was like, I wish they just made sets of stuff that's just for coloring, like floral colors, because I don't want a brown every time, and I don't need a blue if I'm just doing a lot of flowers, right? Necessarily, like not too many blues. So anyway, when I found that, I was like, oh, that's for us. That's for me and you at our coloring party. So glad you could be here. Okay, now the Sharpie's a little tricky. You got to use the right end, apparently. But you almost can do a V. These go pretty quick, huh? Why is it safe to love? Well, why would it not be safe? It might not be safe if you have put your heart out there before and it didn't get cherished the way that it should. And that is a tough one. That one I have shared a box of Kleenexes with more than one friend over somebody not taking proper care of a heart. And so that is a sadness. But in the end, it's better to know and to grow. And everything, even the tough stuff, ends up somehow developing our soul in ways often that we would not choose. But looking back, very often there is a gift. The half full, the silver lining, doesn't feel like that sometimes in the moment. Sometimes it takes years to see the good, and sometimes you're just doing good to get back to neutral instead of feeling negatively in those situations. But I'm here to tell you that you are lovable. You are easy to love. It is safe to love. And if you operate from that assumption, like attracts like, right? And so you will find other people that find a love and respect for themselves, and then they know how to love and respect others in their world. And these are all just pieces of the puzzle. And you are always welcome in my world. If you need a hug, you need a little bit of love, make sure you're hanging out in the community. There is such good stuff going on in there of women supporting each other through business, through relationship ups and downs, through kids, through moves, through jobs, through businesses. Life is just so full of all kinds of just crazy stuff, one after another, it seems, or all at once sometimes. And so one thing to remember, though, is that love is the greatest power. And so when I say that you are loved and you are lovable, that right there connects you to the greatest power. The greatest source of love and light is connected to you. And I think part of life, part of our journey is really learning to understand that, to understand our value, to understand that we are created on purpose, whether we know what that purpose is or not. We are created individually, specifically, beautifully, brilliantly, with all of this seeds of greatness. Oh, it just makes my heart happy to think about how unique and beautiful you are, and me knowing you and caring about you and loving you in a unique way that only two friends can be connected because they're both individuals. It really is kind of miraculous. Sometimes I think too deeply when I'm like driving around in my car, and I'm like, how cool is it that the laws of the universe basically show us and tell us that when we're kind to each other and we love on each other, that like things get better, the world is safer, the world is like high vibe raises all ships, right? Like it's just, I'm so grateful that that's the way that the universe operates. God, higher power. I actually had someone correct me the other day. I try to use a couple of different names for, I'm a God girl. I like to talk about God. I like to think of him as a father figure, a loving father figure, because that goes along with the whole Eris thing, and you're in line for beautiful inheritance of abundance, right? And we're kind of training to be able to handle that. But I try to use several names. There are so many names for God or for your higher power, however you like to. Everybody's got their own special language, it seems like these days, and so it's a little complicated. And you try to respect everyone. And I heard an interesting thought the other day, not that I meant to get super spiritual, but we're talking about love and the author of love, right? It just seems like it goes along with it. So anyway, someone said the universe is not God. The universe was created by God. It's a creation of God. And I thought, oh, that was interesting. And that person was meaning to be respectful. I don't think he was trying to like step on anyone else's beliefs or the way that they express about their higher power. But I just thought, oh, that was interesting. I think specifically when I worked for a large coaching organization that was international, there's so many, especially in different cultures all around the world, so many different ways to refer to God. And it's I think maybe instead of universe, it's really more like the way that people refer to the power that runs the universe, the infinite mind, universal mind, those kinds of things. And so I think as long as you are speaking respectfully, there's not really a wrong way to think of and refer to God. And this is a really great segue into I am easy to love. Did you realize that I am is one of the names of God? And when you say I am and you follow it up with a word, it's kind of like a prayer. And so what are you praying for? If you say I am confident, even if it's an affirmation, even if it feels like it's not that strong, I'm easy to love. What if you don't know if you really feel like that, but it's almost becomes this prayer, like I want to declare myself. And if you replaced I am with dear God, please help me, right? You could say, God, help me be confident. I am confident, right? Do you see how it could be a prayer? That idea really just cracked my brain right open. First time I heard it, what have I been praying for, right? We need to be so careful with the words that we speak, because words create. I heard one time someone talking about words and letters, and I believe I get to credit this to Kirk Duncan, who is one of my mentors, and he was talking about that letters are like the elements in the periodic table, and elements come together and form chemicals, right? You have hydrogen and oxygen, and then you have H2O, which is water, and that's different than another combination of elements. And so there's elements, which are letters, and then they combine to chemicals, right? Which is like our words. And then if you put chemicals together, they do things, they make reactions, they make explosions, or they calm things down, or they create land, or they create water. And our words are so creative like that in our lives. They create our lives and our view of ourselves and our interpretation of our surroundings. And words can make someone's day or crush someone's spirit, right? And so they're so interesting and so powerful. And so I want you to remember that these are words that can help create you into a version of yourself that you have increasing fondness for. I am easy to love. I am loved. I am loving. It is safe to love. And again, you are easy to love. I may not even know you very well, but I'm just like, my heart just like wants to just give you a big hug, right? You're easy to love. Just let that sink in. Just like that, just let that pour over you like a warm shower, like how easy it is, because you're so amazing. You are loved. You are loving. It's safe to be loving. It's safe to give your love to others. And the more you practice, the easier it gets and the safer it feels. And so thank you for coloring with me this evening. This is a fun favorite design. It's a little different because it's so small and detailed. And isn't it fun? A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of variety. I kind of feel like the different shapes and sizes and now the colors of the hearts represent some of the diversity that's within us. There's so many ethnic groups, there's so many nationalities and races and body types and viewpoints, and when we put them all together, it just makes a lovely little medley, doesn't it? Doesn't it just make a lovely little bouquet? All right, well, thank you for being with me. I really, really do love you. I'm not just saying that. Like, my heart is happy chatting with you about these beautiful things. So have a blessed evening, and I will see you next time.